On March 13, 2020, Louisville Metro Police Department officers Jonathan Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, and Miles Cosgrove executed a no-knock warrant and exchanged gunfire with resident Kenneth Walker, who believed the plainclothes police officers to be intruders. In total, the officers fired 20 shots, and Breonna Taylor, also a resident at this apartment, was shot 8 times and would die as a result. Though the residence of Taylor and Walker was included in the warrant, the intended targets of the warrant lived more than 10 miles away. Louisville police stated that they knocked and announced themselves prior to entering, a dubious claim as it would seem to defeat the purpose of obtaining a no-knock warrant.
Come outside!
This new video, taken in March by a neighbor of Breonna Taylor's, shows a small army of police officers with their guns drawn, arresting Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker.
Keep walking back, look backwards!
Police claim they had a no-knock warrant for Taylor's home because of a drug investigation. But the lead officer, Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly, told investigators in a newly released audio interview that on the night of the deadly shooting, officers did knock on Taylor's door.
Our intent was to give her plenty of time to come to the door because they said she was probably there alone.
And this claim has been predictably disputed by both Kenneth Walker himself and neighbors. Kenneth indicated there was no announcement and he had no idea what was happening. The since released 911 call supports the notion that Kenneth was indeed confused at the time of the shooting and had no idea that his girlfriend had just been murdered by plainclothes police officers.
Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, a licensed gun owner, fired 1 shot, striking Mattingly in the leg.
I got 4 rounds off, and it was like simultaneous. It's boom, 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 boom.
But in Walker's interview, he claims officers did not announce themselves, and he thought they were intruders.
All of a sudden, there's a whole lot of shots. We both dropped to the ground, but I just hear her screaming.
I don't know what's happening. Somebody kicked in the door and shot my girlfriend. Breathe. Oh
you said 26. Where was she shot at?
I don't know. She's on the ground right now. I don't know. Hell! Oh my God! Yes, hell!
What's your name, sir? Is she alert and able to talk to you?
A since filed lawsuit by the Taylor family indicates that Taylor and Walker were sleeping in their bedroom prior to the incident. The police were in unmarked vehicles, and that Taylor and Walker believed their apartment had been broken into. An anonymous source speaking to a local news outlet indicated that one of the police officers on scene had fired blindly from the exterior of the residence through a window with closed blinds and curtains.
A lot of gunshots.
Y'all need to get over here. They're shooting out like crazy. Yeah, just get down.
Our glass door is shattered, and I understand there's something going on, but I have a 5-year-old in here.
To figure out what was unfolding, some of them tried to take a peek, but said police ordered they go back inside. Last week, Commonwealth Attorney Tom Wine said Walker told police during his interview he had called his mother before dialing 911. His call to dispatch disconnects after Walker says he has to go.
I gotta go, Mama. Okay. I gotta tell you back.
Kenneth?
The facts surrounding the case has understandably and unsurprisingly led to significant public outcry and protests. It is difficult to imagine what Breonna Taylor could have done differently to still be alive today. One's personal residence is generally considered the safest place one can be at any given time. The idea that one can have the sanctity of that refuge violated seemingly without meaningful consequence is likely a motivating factor for the ongoing calls for justice against Breonna's killers. Coupled, of course, with the continued feeling that the black life can be eliminated in the United States by police officers without consequence. This has led to what can be most accurately described as the memification of Breonna Taylor's death. Hashtag say her name and pictures, videos of random objects that unexpectedly interpolate a version of arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor litter the internet and social media specifically. Ostensibly, Those memes are meant to serve as a reminder that justice has not yet been served in the Breonna Taylor killing. However, there is also the very real possibility that these memes may be self-defeating and trivializing the death of Breonna Taylor. Merely creating, disseminating, or engaging in one of these memes can be arguably seen as slacktivism, which for the uninitiated is a form of passively supporting a social or political cause without meaningfully contributing to said cause in any palpable sense. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge of a few years ago is often cited as an example of this. Of course, the upside of Breonna Taylor essentially becoming a meme is that she has stayed in the public consciousness far longer than she would have otherwise, which has also helped drive much needed conversation about the excessive reach of the police, the criminalization of Black Americans, and even racism in general. There is no easy answer here. One can argue that if 0.1% of people who come across a Breonna Taylor meme is compelled to and actually takes a meaningful action, then the memification of her death is worth it. This is not an easily dismissible argument and certainly holds some merit. But at what point is the memory of Breonna Taylor, who was a real person with real dreams and hopes, feelings and fears, at what point is her life and death being cheapened so that we can virtue signal to others that we get it? Is this video a contribution to the memification? Again, these questions have no easy answer, but perhaps we can individually do better. Donate to the Taylor family's GoFundMe. Contact your local representative and express your support for a ban on no-knock warrants. Ultimately, nothing any of us do can bring Breonna Taylor back. She was tragically and unfairly taken from her family and the world. However, we can do our part to not cheapen her death.